demotivated and they lose the energy. They think that they're not good enough. Stop rushing your applications and start. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is assuming that. Let me give you a hack. If you're someone who wants to teach in the UAE but feels overwhelmed, then this video is for you. I've seen a lot of content being shared about teaching in the UAE, but I feel that these few important topics are being missed. So instead of talking in general terms, I want to give you a simple framework that you can actually use. Think of this as a checklist that you can go through before deciding to work in the UAE. Step one is to clarify your why. Now, I'm sure that most of you might be thinking about a better salary, but before just looking at one single requirement, I would say pause right there and ask yourself why the United Arab Emirates? Is it just financial stability or career growth? Or is it to change your lifestyle or is it a long term settlement for you? Because these questions matter a lot because different schools prioritize different things. So when your why is unclear, every rejection feels really personal. So I would say write this down before you do anything else. Now, the second step would be to understand that not all teaching profiles are treated the same. It is not. Because one of the biggest mistakes that people make is assuming that all of their teaching degrees or experiences are being evaluated equally by all the schools. They aren't. The UAE school system looks at where you've studied, what level you've taught, and how your experience aligns with that particular school curricula. This does not mean one path is better than the other. It means that you have to align your profile according to the school that you're targeting. So before applying, your question should not be, am I good enough? But where do I fit best? Because I'm sure that you will fit into at least 10 or 20 schools around, but then you might be applying to the wrong schools. So I would always prefer applying to a school where your profile matters more rather than applying to a school where the criteria are completely different. Now, step three, separate qualifications from experience because these both are judged really differently. Many teachers bundle everything together in their profile and say that I have a degree in experience, so I should be eligible. But in the UAE education system, qualifications means eligibility, whether you're eligible for the position, and experience means employability. So this should be separated in your profile to show that you're both eligible and employable. So what is the difference between being eligible and employable? Let me tell you this. So some teachers may be eligible for the position, but then they might lack the competitiveness among teachers. They might not be competitive yet. Now, some teachers might be experienced and might be employable, but then they might lack some kind of a formal eligibility criteria that the school needs. For example, an IELTS certification. So knowing which one you need to strengthen saves a lot of confusion and time. If you have to strengthen qualifications, go for it. If you have to strengthen your experience, then go for it. And just adding on something else here, if you have any doubts, I've been thinking about doing a Q&A session too. So just drop down your doubts as comments below, and I will be doing a separate video to answer your doubts about teaching in the UAE, about IELTS, about the certifications that you need. So any doubts, drop them below, and inshallah, I'll be answering them in the next video. Now, fourth, and a really important one, is to stop rushing. I understand that the market, the education industry is really competitive and there's a lot of applicants, a lot of teachers going on hunting for opportunities. But then I would say stop rushing your applications and start reading job descriptions properly and clearly. Now, this might sound really basic, but let me tell you this is where most people go wrong. Job descriptions are not just listings, they're actually filtering out the things that they are looking for in a teacher. So they're literally filters. Now, just use this filter into your profile. So every requirement or every job description tells you a lot of things. It tells you what the school values. It tells you what they can compromise on and they won't compromise on. It tells you what they can do for you and what they will not do for you. So if you're applying blindly, then you're playing a guess game. But then if you read carefully and adjust your profile accordingly, and then maybe edit out your CV, if you take the time to apply, then that becomes the best strategy. I would always say that slow applications and ready applications are much more better than mass applications where you do not even know what you're applying for or where you're applying for. So always go through the job description and ensure that your profile matches. But let me give you a hack. If you think that you're missing a certification that has been mentioned in the job description, do not stop yourself from applying. You can apply there because they might like your profile. For instance, there was a school that wanted B.Ed as an eligibility criteria to apply, but then I did not have a B.Ed. I do not have a B.Ed. So I applied anyway. And I got an interview call because they were impressed with my profile, even though I did not have a B.Ed. So if you think that you do not have a formal qualification, I would say still apply because we do not know that if they would be impressed by your profile or not. Now, the fifth step would be to accept that timing is a part of the process. I've got a lot of messages saying that they've been applying to a lot of schools, but then they're not receiving anything back. But sometimes you have to understand that you are not being rejected. You're just not fit for that school, or you are just an early applicant. Even in my school, I've seen the HRs actually collecting very good real CVs, and they collect and keep it with them. And they only contact when the school has a vacancy. So you have to understand that it's not just the problem with your profile. Many a times you are selected, but then you will not hear from them right that second. You will only hear from schools when they have a vacancy. This is a part where many of the teachers get demotivated and they lose the energy. They think that they're not good enough. But then please do understand that your resume or CV has been selected somewhere, but then it's just the HR waiting for a vacancy, a proper vacancy to contact you. So, meanwhile, I would say prepare yourself for the position, add clarity to your profile, add alignment, add certifications, and also a little bit patience. So, if you're thinking about teaching in the UAE, I would say do not rush into action. Walk through this checklist one step at a time, bring on clarity, and just see where you have to work on and what you have to work on, because the goal is not just to get in, but to build a career that you do not feel lost in. Many a times, teachers get in and then they feel overwhelmed, they feel lost because it does not align with their life. So I would say go through this checklist, align your priorities, and then get your profile ready. Okay, so don't forget to drop your comments and doubts below. I will try to answer them in my next video, inshallah.